out of 26 notifications Pakistan received, according to our judgment, that 14 were defensive and 8 were vague. That means, you can see a large proportion of the responses were either vague or defensive. So that is, I can see that, when you talk about NTMs or removal of NTBs in South Asia, there is a kind of defensive position or kind of, very, and we need to understand the political behind it. I'll be very brief now. Our study also looked at the reduction in tariff and trade cost, and what's the impact. We found that actually, if you reduce the transaction cost, that the gains are, welfare gains are much larger. This is a result taken from the GTAP model, and this is a result taken from a gravity model, which shows that if you reduce the 10% fall in tariff equivalent trade cost, actual trade would increase, inter-regional trade in South Asia would increase by 41%. Just to compare what I presented earlier, the 10% reduction in tariff would lead to only 9% increase in inter-regional trade. And you can see that the larger impact of transaction reduction in transaction cost. Very finally, these are NTM. We actually, in our study, also looked into, this is a publication I'll just show you in the next slide. We also try to identify the priority products, because when you talk about NTMs or removal of NTVs, you can't really deal with all the products. You need to actually prioritize the products. And these are the priority products at the 6-digit level we try to mention. And this is the actually book. The book is available online. And we try to create a country-specific inventory of NTMs. Yes, just 10 seconds. And then you can see that it's not only the inventory of NTMs, the database, but also try to develop a monitoring tool. And this is something very important, because when you talk about NTM, we don't know the benchmark. And where is the progress? And we need to create the benchmark to monitor the progress of the reduction in NTBs in South Asia. So thank you very much for a very kind attention.
Salim, thank you very much for sticking to the time, and also for introducing an element of hard evidence and numbers into this whole issue, into this wider debate. It would be nice also, I think, if subsequent speakers could also speak to issues on, when do NTMs start becoming, what are the legitimate NTMs versus non-tariff barriers? There is a clear distinction to be drawn, and what are information issues that bedevil this kind of debate on both sides. I'd like to request then Mr. Majid Aziz Saab, former president of Karachi Chamber of Commerce, to make his presentation.
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. At the outset, let me thank ICRIER, but more importantly, I want to thank Dr. Nisha Taneja. She has a big following in Pakistan, and I am her #1 admirer, and I put that on record in my articles also. Dr. Bakar Ahmad must be #2, but I am #1. Second thing is, I was asked to speak for 15 minutes, and after going through the ordeal of coming here, and I'm the first speaker here who is the real prime stakeholders. There are 3 prime stakeholders sitting here from Pakistan, and my elder brother Zubair Mali, former president FPCCI, Mr. Yawar Ali Sahab, and I are the 3 more concerned with all the things that we have talked since morning, and all we have been talking for a long time. So the 7 minute, I'm sorry to say, sir, I'll have to take advantage of my presence here.
So you get guest privilege.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I made this, but before I go, I want to just talk something else. It may not sound maybe palatable to some. You see, we have been talking about trade, India-Pakistan trade and everything for so many years. And I'm really, what I would say, die-hard proponent of trade. And as an industrialist, I think I must have written the most articles on Indo-Pakistan trade in many different contexts. And that is one reason why ICRIER or Gateway and Kurtz, they have invited me here to speak here on different subjects, because then I can get our point of view across. Then, then I start thinking when I come here, or sometimes, why on God's green earth we want to do business with India? We have no compulsion to do business with India. It's a measly $300-400 million going through all these hassles and doing business in India. And why are you all worried about MFN, FN? It's like a flower, you know, the lovers take a I love you not, I love you, MFN not, MFN. For crying out loud, Pakistan has given you MFN since I don't know how many decades. This informal trade is the MFN. Why are you so worried about MFN? Wherever I go, they talk about MFN. Don't worry about MFN. Anything we want from India, we can get it. Anything we want to India, whatever we want. So really speaking, it does not matter. And the studies have shown and the speeches that we have already given you so many advantages. We are getting $5 billion according to ICRIER, and maybe it's more or less, we don't know. So what is your $2 billion official trade? You know, you have already $7 billion for a country like Pakistan, and maybe probably more. आपका नाच गाना भी हम देखते हैं. I don't. If you ask me, name 3 Pakistani actresses, I won't, but I probably will name 5 of yours. Even though I don't see Indian movies, I don't see movies at all. But the only movie that I've seen in the last many years was the Guru, because it had to do with polyester, and I'm in the textile business. I went, and then my wife forced me to see My Name Is Not Khan. So I had to go there. Now only the movie I want to see, oh yeah, on DVD I saw OMG. Because when I was here, somebody said, you haven't seen OMG, I didn't even know what it meant. I thought, oh my gosh, you know, or something Hindi word. It was, oh my God. I saw that also. In fact, I saw it 2 times. Because I really love the dialogue. I'm totally against those fanatic religious people, whether they are pandits or mullahs or rabbis or priests. Though they are the ones who are creating all the mess, and I will tell you when we come later into the subject. The point is that every day we are doing business with India. A common citizen, how? On DVD they watch Indian movies. Before you people, most of you have seen PK, most of Pakistan has seen PK. On the same day. So why are you worried about it? And then again I start thinking, why are so many donors of India, the big names, financing the think tanks to talk about normalization, trade and trade? Why? And normalization, what is the meaning? I don't even understand. It means that something is mentally wrong with the trade of India and Pakistan. So to normalize, we have to do all these things. And enhancing. It will go. Trade, you can't stop it. You cannot stop trade. And that is why one reason is, since morning we have been listening, so I thought I'll give you a little, before my elders give tomorrow, some of the frustrations we have. And the reason there, what to do. So in my opinion, I think first thing is that the Pakistan exporters, there is this feeling that a lot of it is Pakistan specific, and most of it true. That you know, there are many NTBs that may really apply to Pakistan, and that is mindset that was talking about in the morning, other things. And what is role of organizations? We trade bodies, Federation, Chamber, the Pakistan-India Joint Council, and others. We all have been working on the same platform like people here in India, or our think tanks. And we have experts sitting here, and they've given some solid viewpoints. But I'm not going to go through all the technical details, so I categorize it into commercial, consular, and combative, and that's where I will now talk about. I'll try to go very fast. Now, commercial. People also talked about the customs and others. Now, the thing is that we feel that for Pakistan, the Indian tariff regime is more protective than of the rest of the SAARC countries. And this morning, Mr. Sinha also talked about the asymmetrical thing, and let's do it. I think that's more of a Gujarat doctrine. And the Gujarat doctrine really made a lot of sense to us Pakistanis, and I'm sure to the Sri Lankans, Bangladeshis, and others also. And if you look into it, you have got a big population. What difference would it make? Isn't Chinese good coming here? Sri Lanka is doing a lot of business. You get brownie points. The more business you do with us, we will be making a beeline. And really speaking, Pakistan does not have the critical mass to go into billions and billions overnight. We will not be able to flood the market. But our products, textile, with all due respect, are a lot better than most of the Indian textile products that are coming here. A figure was given by ICRIER that officially, I'm talking about Sinha in two things, 6.1 million and 3 million, that was 9 million, and in 2014, next year, it jumped to 16 million. And then they really gave the true figures of 780 million. And that I was not sure about it. When in the second afternoon session, I found out the 780, that is true. Ladies and gentlemen, most of it, our small weaving units have closed down because the Indian goods are there. And they're coming from Dubey or whatever. Not just because tariff is the issue, it's because people don't want to come into the tax net. This is also one major reason. They don't want to come into tax net. They want to eat the halwa, puri and gulab jamun, rasgulla, all without giving anything to the government. But at our cost, those of us who are in the organized sector, for you it may be an legal export, a formal export or whatever, but for us it is coming there, and that is the crux of the matter. So then we come into certification. Now here's another issue that is very important. You have arbitrary custom valuation, and for us it's a major concern. You reclassify goods into those having high duty. In case of valuation as per international prices, you value the goods. You should value the good, the prevalent price on arrival rather than at the time of sale. That is another problem. And third is, if there are similar product, you will value a Pakistani product with a similar product made in Italy or France for that matter. We at the Karachi Chamber of Commerce have done a lot of studies. We have some anecdotal evidence. I'm not going to go all through it right now because of the time thing. I would rather say something more. But we do not appreciate the arbitrary method for the calculation of import duties, and that is a very major concern of my members in Karachi. And I'm sure the same thing in Lahore and others, and Mr. Zubair Sahib also agree with me. A lot of things. Now I'll come to cement. My company was one of those who initiated the process of Pakistani goods coming, cement coming into India. And it proved to be pretty good. I was here with one of our former minister, and the BSI guy was here, and he would not go to Color Car in Karachi, where Yashwant temple is the famous there, because to certify DG cement, which is one of the largest cement mills. A cement mill is not a khoka that you can see on the street. It is a cement mill worth millions and billions. And the reason he was not going to come, the bahana he made was that there's a law and order problem. What law and order problem? We told him, okay, you take the flight from Delhi, come to Lahore, get into the plane of Mia Mansha, the owner, the tycoon there. He will take you to Color Car, you do your whatever, in total security, they will provide you the security that our Prime Minister gets, and then we will do the same thing. But this is the bahana. So it is this kind of NTBs that are personalized and individualistic, but it is the mindset, it is the bias, and that is what we are not comfortable with. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing is, they say testing. Now Pakistan is producing a very high quality cement, which has been confirmed by your labs and even BSI. So, nevertheless, the procedure is still complicated. And now there's another thing. Again, we may, but this is the perception. We are talking about perception, reality. That if we send a good, and ICRIER should do a study, that if we send our goods to Mumbai or we send to Delhi, there's a difference in the time, in the calculation, and also in the time period in which it is cleared. There is no written on NTBs. It's how you use the NTBs, that is what is hurting Pakistan when we send our goods here to your country. Why is it that? You are the big brother, you change your thinking. We talked about finance. Why not? We have to go to Mashriq Bank and Dubey Bank and Timbuktu Bank for that, to get our goods and LCs and others. Why do we want to do that? We have no Nostro agreement. We have to go to the Asian Clearing Union. A lot of these things happen. And it is adding to our cost. And then also we are dictated by these third country banks, you know. It is detrimental to you, detrimental to us. You are right. You should take the initiative. Think of 2 branches kholo. What difference will we make? You have, in fact, you have maybe 200, 250 million Muslims also. There's one measly bank who's doing Islamic banking. We are expert in Islamic banking. It is for your own citizens also. Why you do not allow that? RBI did not allow Pakistani investment into Pakistan or from Pakistan. There was a Pakistan specific clause. We have got that removed. But for the last 2-3 years, there has been no modus operandi set up, you know. Now, if there is no modus operandi set up, then your investment will not come. I have heard Mr. Adi Godrej, I have heard the Sunil, Hero Honda wale and others. They all said we want to go to Pakistan. They write articles, we want to invest in Pakistan. You are one of the largest investors in the world. And you have got a next door, same Zaban. कौन है माधुरी कौन है करीना everybody will know that, you know. आपके गाने हमको आते हैं हमारे गाने नहीं आते हमको. Point is जनाब हम खुशबू के सौदा कर रहे हो सौदा सच्चा करते हैं जो घास फूलों जैसा हो हम बिन दामों बिक जाते हैं. Ladies and gentlemen, ये बड़ी ज़रूरी है. So now we come to the next. Okay, now there the movies. I got the पीके आपकी है उंगली है एक्शन जैक्शन है. मुझे तो लगता है तो मेन चीज़ ये डम डम्बर है. ये वो लोग हैं जो पाकिस्तान इंडिया को ट्रेड नहीं करना चाहते. ये डम डम्बर ये है. Ladies and gentlemen, I said on a speech and that जनाब only an idiot in Pakistan and India would not do business with one another. I mean, I think you sent all of them who are against that to the psychiatrists. You have plenty of psychiatrists, we have a lot of psychiatrists. Maybe we'll come up to something. But look at this position. Councillor, everybody is crying. Pradeep ji was crying, others crying. अरे आप इसको छोड़ें. हमारे Karachi chamber में we would get visas. I have a 1-year multiple visa of 10 cities coming from here. There no problem. There is no problem. There is a Pakistan-India joint council composed of the House of Lords of both the countries. Due respect, sir, if you don't mind. House of Lords. My Sala, my wife's brother, one of the leading tycoons, one of the head of a conglomerate, for the last 5 months is trying to get an Indian visa renewed. He is not getting it. अब उसको नहीं देते तो मेरे जैसे छोटे आदमी को कहाँ देंगे? Why? वो तो मैं प्रदीप जी की शोज लगाता हूँ तो मिल जाता है. So, ladies and gentlemen, dealing and rejecting goes along with the mood of the time. कोई स्टेटमेंट हो गया, कोई फटा हो गया, कोई बॉर्डर इश्यू हो गया तो वीजा. तारा साहब बैठे हैं यहाँ. I don't know what the Pakistan, because we have been getting complaints from Indians from the Pakistan about Pakistan High Commission too. ये मिली भगत है दोनों High Commission की. Don't give visa. Let them suffer. Let the citizens suffer. Bureaucracy loves that, you know. Let the citizens suffer. So this mood of time is the main issue. Sir, we all smile in the same. Subah, General Saab keh rahe the, I will bring some smile. But we all smile in the same language. Why are we crying? Now comes the combative. Now here I want to say something. Because the whole day we have been talking about the security and all these things. Janab, the main reason, in my opinion, is that, and I will take a couple of minutes, that is not the army thing. The issue of not giving you people MFN or trying to create all these problems is that lobby that does informal illegal trade. They are the ones who are financing the mullah, the zealots. They are the ones who are doing it. They are the ones who are creating the issues, because their bread and butter will go away when everything is hunky-dory. They are the ones who are financing it. It's not just that. And why would the army do it when Askari cement, which is 100% owned by the army, is exporting cement to India? So वो ही नहीं करते. This is one proof. Why are you just blaming our security? Oh, by the way, we, ladies and gentlemen, Pradeep ji, for your kind permission, all the Pakistan delegation, when we come here, we are all ISI agents. And when Pradeep ji or Nisha or any of you come to Pakistan, you are all become raw agents. So we are happy in that. Yeah, ISI, no, ISI, CIA, Mossad, हम इसी में पड़े हुए हैं. Because we don't want to do trade in the true sense. Sir, we are businessmen, we are economists, we are this. We are not फौजी. हम मेमन लोग हैं, गुजराती हैं. हम तो बंदूक देखते हैं तो भाव लगा लेते हैं कि कितने की बेचोगे भाई. अब जुबैर साहब क्या बात कर रहे हैं इन लोग, क्या बात कर रहे हैं. And now again see, my paper was prepared and sent to Nisha before, so I have said something about the ex-Fawjis. It was not because of today or yesterday, it was many days ago I wrote this. So I want to read that thing for you, if you don't mind. People who don't like it, I'm sorry. See, the scenario at the border is whether by provocation, by design, or even by embedded hatred, has aggravated the distrust factor. Fanning of extremist sentiments by religious or nationalistic fundamentalists or retired members of the armed forces have added fuel to the fire. I call it anger jingoism. It is anger jingoism. I wanted this from Modi and Nawaz Sharif. And so where is my? Oh, it's gone. Okay, I want this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to just quote you from General Umar Bedi, the most highly decorated general of United States Army. Because I believe that in the present scenario, anger, jingoism, and emotions are at a crescendo. These retired service personnel, both countries, I'm not specific about anyone or any other country, are obnoxiously vocal on the print and electronic media. And both the governments must rein in these people. General Bradley wisely said, I am convinced that the best service a retired general can perform is to turn in his tongue along with his suit and mothball his opinions. They are the jada, creating all these problems. Ladies and gentlemen, NTBs everywhere. You can't get away from NTBs. Ye har jagah hai. Every day somebody is creating an NTB all over the world. So do not lose hope. NTBs honge. But we have Dr. Nisha here, who is diligently doing things. And maybe with her and Pradeep ji and others, and Dr. Vakar and others, और बाकी हम लोग शेर लोग हैं, किसी से कम नहीं हैं. जुबैर साहब हैं, यावर साहब हैं, मैं हूँ, मेरे जैसे बहुत हैं जिनको ट्रेड इंडिया पाकिस्तान करनी है. हम पागल तो नहीं हैं कि हम होटल से बाहर तो निकलेंगे नहीं. तो हम तो वहाँ जाके जामा मस्जिद भी नहीं देखी और वहाँ भी नहीं गए, यहाँ आए और चले जाएंगे. So for us is our lobbying, because we believe in you. We are believing in these people who are working day and night, coming up with all these things, because they are doing us a favor also. They are not doing only your businessmen a favor. No, sir. ब्यूरोक्रेसी की बात हुई, बदलना है तो रिंदों से कहो अपना चलन बदले. फकत साकी बदल जाने से महकाना नहीं बदलेगा. You can't. They have to change their mindset. These are retired army, this bureaucracy, they are the ones who are creating difficulties for us. They are making us put our hand behind and say, "Jao boxing karo." No. This won't work. Sir, okay, I would just like to now end here with the SAARC ki baat hui. Sorry, SAARC is a... Less you talk about SAARC, chamber, all this is better. It's a waste of time. They spend billions and do nothing and just shake hands. And they also first think about whether one should go and shake the other's hand or not. Forget it. So now, Shakti is an American New Age author. When we consistently suppress and distrust our intuitive knowingness, looking instead for authority, validation and approval of others, जो बातें हो रही हैं, we give our personal power away. और ये है कि critical mass businessmen और ये उनके पास है ही नहीं. हुकूमत should listen to us because we are the ones who are paying them to run. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows, is really somebody. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. We are your mortal enemies, remember that. हम आपके जान के दुश्मन हैं. Then he becomes your partner. And in the end, informal trade की बात होती है. क्या बात करते हैं? ये देखे क्या है? पान पराग. पूरा दिल्ली ढूंढा नहीं मिला. पाकिस्तान में जितना चाहिए पान पराग मिलता है. मेरे जैसे लोग भी पागलों की तरह खाते हैं. Nasty habit. It was smuggled into Pakistan through Dubey, and Majid Aziz smuggled it to New Delhi. कर लो जो करना है. इनफॉर्मल ट्रेड तो मैंने डबल की नहीं. Ladies and gentlemen, on a serious note, एक शेर बड़ा अच्छा है. एक सजर ऐसा मोहब्बत का लगाया जाए जिसका हमसाये के आंगन में भी साया जाए. That is what will bring peace, because peace will bring the prosperity. Peace is going to bring whatever we want, enabling us to come here, enabling you to come there. We all want to work together. Let's bridge the gap. We have to bridge the gap. We have to do what we have to do, whether they like it or not. But one day, we shall overcome. We shall truly overcome. Because as I said, only idiot will not do trade with Pakistan, between Pakistan and India. Or, I would like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, with this hope, prayer, and this emotion that it may hurt many, it may hurt me also. My business has been affected by Indian textile coming into Pakistan. But I'm not talking just, I'm not here for individual point of view. I'm here for the region. Because civil society and those of civil, they will never accept economic regional integration. So we have to do it. And the prime engine is the business community of not only India, but also Pakistan. Thank you, Nisha. I'm sorry if I've ruffled some feathers. I've censored myself. But I've censored myself. You know, I believe in self-censorship. वरना कहने को तो बहुत है. And I would especially thank Chair for giving me this emotional opportunity to say what I want to say, because I have to say it. ठीक है ना? At the end, a message for all of you. Take heed from Mahmood, one of your famous actors and comedians. In his movie, in बड़ा अच्छा गाना कहा था, ना बाप बड़ा ना भैया. The whole thing is dead. कि सबसे बड़ा रुपया. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you very much, Majid Aziz Sahab, for livening up our session with your passion and humor. And I would also say there are some really some earthy truths there, and I mean behind all of that. And so I think one of the points that you made was about, you know, the fact that India already has MFN actually, in a manner of speaking. Now, there is more than a grain of truth there, because, you know, you're talking about basically trade takes place when there is demand on both sides. So efficiency, and this links up actually to the previous session as well. I mean, informal trade is happening because it is the most efficient way of trading, as opposed to the formal, because there are either policy-induced barriers or facilitation-induced barriers to the formal trade channel. But as long as there is demand and there are resourceful people on both sides, trade is going to take place. So trade happens. So I think, yes, so that's a real truth out there, and that the fact is that whatever impact that MFN, whenever it happens, will actually take place. The additional impact of that will not be too much, because the products are already in Pakistan. So what you can do a little bit more efficiently, but the products already being felt. Now, I would like to ask the remaining speakers also if they can focus and think a little bit about also, there are two elements to this NTB whole issue. One is the facts, and facts presenting in a dispassionate manner. But then second part is what can be done about it. If people can also start thinking about that and maybe throw up some ideas for the audience. So I will now call on my friend Ayan Mukherjee, former professor of JNU. And I, you know that since we had Majid Saab from Pakistan, he was given full indulgence, but I will not be indulgent with the rest of you, sorry. So he has to cut into somebody's time. So 5 minutes each for the remainder, please. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the 5 minutes. I may indulge a little more, but that is up to you. First, conceptual. Non-tariff barriers are a subset of non-tariff measures. When non-tariff barriers are measures are policy-induced, they are not discriminatory, and they have follow the principles of national treatment and MFN treatment, then they are really, in the true sense, measures. On the other hand, if they are discriminatory, and if these measures lead to an enhanced cost for the exporter, this is maybe non-voluntary, it may be facilitative, will not be actionable unless they fall under trade facilitation arrangements where they can work out the modalities. For instance, you must have a testing center at the border. That may become a principle to be accepted. So in that case, it will be. But as it is now, we don't have such trade facilitation agreement. So there is no legal remedy for these sort of barriers. They are not actionable. Now, having said this, I would like to mention that there are